totally a spoof. It's totally an homage to Sly and the original film. Absolutely. We shot it in the small town of Hope, British Columbia, where the original Rambo First Blood was filmed. And so I said, yeah, and we got an amazing crew together, some of the best stunt actors in Vancouver and in Canada. And we just pulled all the stops of people who love indie film coming together and doing this project. People who are big fans of Rambo and Stallone. They might love it, they might hate it. This is the exciting part.
Welcome to Amigos PC. If you were looking for a podcast with high standards and an appreciation for the finer things in life, like water polo, ballet, equestrian riding, cricket, and trips to the countryside, you're in the wrong place. If you're looking for a podcast that celebrates drinking, random thoughts, wacky conspiracies, memes, crypto, cinema, and a lot of other things that don't really make any sense, then you're in the right place. This is Amigos PC, and here are your hosts, Scott and Mark.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. You're hearing this for a reason. You haven't subscribed to the Amigos membership on Supercash yet. For as little as $5, you can get access to our feed with no ads and exclusive membership discounts and merch.
Jump up to our $30 tier and get everything plus direct access to us via our Discord channel, live Amigo AMAs, quarterly giveaways, and crypto merch. For $1 a day or less, you can support an Amigo out.
The Amigos back at it again. Today we have Justine Warrington. Did I say that right? Warrington?
You did.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. She has a new movie that's going to be dropping here pretty soon, Rumbo. If you could, before we get into that a little bit, just tell us a little bit about yourself and, give some insight.
Sure. Hey, everyone. Nice to be here. Thanks for having me, Scott and Mark. I'm Justine, hailing from the west coast of Canada at the moment, from Hollywood North. I'm an actor. I'm a writer, indie filmmaker, and yeah, I've had a couple of cool projects that I've been working on lately that I'm excited about, and I'm about to embark on, for the first time in over a year, I've got like my first live stand-up comedy show coming up at the end of the month.
So, this the Rambo movie, the spoof that you're doing, tell us a little bit about it. Like, what is the so you're supposed to be Rambo? No.
Well, I'm Katie Rumbo.
And don't give too much away. Come on, Mark. Don't ask too much.
Here, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going for safety, so I don't give too many spoilers away. I'm going to read the synopsis from IMDb. Okay. So, when Katie Rumbo is denied the use of the bathroom, things go bad. She takes out the local police and runs off. Yes, there's more. They are quickly embarrassed by her superior skills. Oh yes. Her commanding officer arrives to save the small town from Rumbo. So she's deadly, she can fight anyone, she's not unlike the story of Rambo, only now juxtaposed to this new world. Yeah, it's ridiculous and so much fun.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's cool. So what made you... Sorry, go ahead, Mark.
Oh, I was gonna say, so basically there's no relation, right? Like it's not like a distant cousin or anything like that. It's just a true spoof.
Oh, it's totally a spoof. It's totally an homage to Sly and the original film. Absolutely. We shot it in the small town of Hope, British Columbia, where the original Rambo First Blood was filmed. It's about a 2-hour drive out of Vancouver, and it's this little town that just worships Rambo. There's Rambo paraphernalia. Oh, wow. There's a wood carving of Stallone as Rambo in the town that's new. It was just added, I don't know, a year ago or something like that. And so the director who I worked with, he was my stunt coordinator on Dragged Across Concrete, and that's how we met, this feature that we worked on together a few years back. And he just presented me, like, kind of during, pandemic hit, and we were all out of work and out of our minds. And as artists do, we put it into we take our art and we try to create something out of the insanity. And so he presented me with a script and asked me a thing, and I was like, this is so absurd, it's so wonderful. So I said, yeah, and we got an amazing crew together. Some of the best stunt actors in Vancouver and in Canada are working on it, and they make me look like a badass, and they make me look like a badass. And we just pulled all the stops of, like, you know, people who love indie film coming together and doing this project. People who are big fans of Rambo and Stallone, you know, they might love it, they might hate it. This is the exciting part. Because, you know, it's a girl Rambo. Hi, you're welcome. It's about time.
That's awesome.
What else was I going to say about that? Oh, yeah, so it's set in a world, you know, sort of a pandemic world. Do you guys remember when the pandemic first happened and you couldn't go anywhere, you couldn't do anything, and no one would let you use the bathroom? Do you remember? Was that an experience you guys had? Was trying to use the public
actually
washroom and being denied? So this is the premise.
Yeah. So funny you make it mention of that. I took a road trip. I want to say around November. I had to go back home, and flying just was not an option.
Where's home,
I was
Mark?
Taking an entire family back home.
Yeah, where is it? Where's home?
Oh, Wisconsin.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Well, I know, but the audience doesn't know. Maybe they don't know. Justine doesn't know.
Yeah, they had. Well, yeah, Christine. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. But Justine. Damn it! I'm
just don't call me Justin.
The corrections. Sorry.
Yeah.
You took a road trip?
No, but yeah, I had to drive cross country. We had to drive through. Yeah, we had to drive through New Mexico as one of the states, and we stopped at a gas station. We were like, okay, let's just, you know, we'll rest up, get gas, do all we need to do, and nothing. So then we had to go to like a restaurant, nothing. Like we couldn't go anywhere, and basically had to drive again out of New Mexico, which was another 3 hours in the direction we were going, just to, you know, to use the bathroom and rest for the most part. It was crazy. So it's funny that the movie's kind of about this, and I've actually experienced it personally during this COVID time.
I'm so happy to hear this. See, this movie is for you. It's also for me. It's also
I kind of had the
all
same
of us
thing in New Mexico.
Couldn't use the bathroom. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I had the same. When I
delay?
drove from Arizona to Tennessee to move. We went through New Mexico, and a little bit. I think
Yeah,
so.
a little bit.
So yeah, when I drove through New Mexico, like Mark, I had to go through like 4 different places. Eventually, I got into one, but I understand. I don't know what's up with New Mexico and their bathrooms, but that could be where part 2 is. You can do part 2 there.
I mean, it was
New Mexico,
it
right?
was everywhere.
They don't let you go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Was it Albuquerque?
Albuquerque, yeah.
So that's the premise of the film, and so it's very relatable.
I think we're all caught up now, maybe.
And it's also very ridiculous. Lauro Chartrand is the writer-director of it, and just a fabulous guy. We had so much in it. And I did my own stunts. No, I didn't. I did some of my own stunts.
Awesome.
What's that process like? Did they approach you to say, hey, do you want to do your own stunts? Or did they have like an insurance guy come in and be like, oh, you can do this, but you can't do that? Or did you opt in to like say, well, I want to do X, Y, and Z?
No. By stunts, I mean I did some running and jumping, and I drove a vehicle. To be clear, I am not any type of athlete. I am not any type of stunt actor whatsoever, which I think makes this movie funnier. I am just a grown-ass woman in mom jeans living her best life. So no, we had very wonderful professional stunt actors come and make me look like a badass. Bless them.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
And you said it was filmed where the real
It's a small
Rambo
town
was
called
filmed
Hope,
at too?
British Columbia.
Wow. Yeah, that's
And so we matched
British
shots,
Columbia. That's
like,
pretty cool.
you know, we we found the same locations. Now they're a little bit, the trees are bigger. This was shot in 1982 or whatever, the first one. So it's almost the 40th anniversary of First Blood. You're welcome, world. But yeah, so we shot at some of the same locations and really like matched a lot of the shots, which is just going to be like a cinema nerds, I don't know. We can cinema nerds, I don't know. We can nerd out on that together, I guess, matching the frames. Yeah, it was really fun to do it in the same town.
That's cool. So I was also reading on your bio that you actually worked with some other big name people. Mel Gibson, Vince Vaughn, Johnny Depp, or at least you were in their presence of some sort. Like, how was it being around any of those folks?
Oh my gosh, amazing. Like, amazing. Yeah, Vince and Mel star in Dragged Across Concrete. That's where I met the stunt director, Lauro, and this is a really heavy film. Have you guys seen it? I don't know. It did a huge festival circuit around the world and was very, very controversial. It's a crime thriller. And I scored like a really cool role in it. And I have a big scene like near the end of the climax with those two guys, and it was a trip to work with them. They're just such epic legends of cinema. So it was, intimidating. I learned a lot. They were so supportive. They were just really supportive, and we made a really hard movie. Dragged was a really, really hard film to make. Not a comedy. Although there's some really dark comedy in it, which I love. And they were great. And yeah.
Oh, that's always good.
Yeah. And Johnny, the film's called Richard Says Goodbye. He's been my favorite actor since I was a teenager. And so that was like a huge dream. He was magnificent. I could gush for the rest of this podcast about him. What a wonderful experience it was. And that is a comedy, a very dark comedy about a man who is dying of cancer. And so he just decides to, F it. Can we swear? The F word. The F word is coming.
That is funny.
Just fuck it and live his life. And I play a waitress.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I play a waitress who helps him to carpe diem, have an experience, and so we have a sex scene, and so it's on film, and so it's my favorite thing that's ever happened. Am I blushing?
Oh.
Yes. I love it because there's a delay, so I like say and then it comes.
So yeah, let's jump into how those take place.
Jump on what?
Yes. Yeah. Jump into the sex, like how the sex scenes work when you're filming them. Like, is it weird? Like, how weird is it when there's like probably 10 other people in the room, right? With like trying to be in the moment or act the moment.
Imagine your opposite, your favorite human being on the planet who like you think is so hot, and you're like, just pretend it's a normal day at work, just totally normal to be doing this job. Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
However, I have to say it was such a great experience. The scene itself, yes, it's technical, it's weird. Johnny was like, he tried to make me feel so comfortable. He was so wonderful, and I did feel comfortable. And he said, isn't it weird what we do, as actors? And to which I barely escaped blurting out my real feelings, which are, no, this is just awesome! But I bit my tongue and tried to act cool. It was not cool, but tried.
How many times did you yell cut? Or how many?
Huh?
How many times did you did you mess up on purpose? Anything to prolong it?
Here's the funny thing. The director, Wayne Roberts, bless him. Oh my goodness. He wrote and directed the film, and I think he caught on pretty early that, it's not most of the world's fantasy anyway, since the 1980s, to be in my position. But he caught on pretty quick that I was beyond delighted to be playing this role. And so before we went in to shoot the scene, he pulled me aside and he said, so Justine, how many takes do you think you're going to need for this scene? I said, oh, Wayne, we're going to need a lot of takes. I'm sweaty and insane, and yeah, my goodness. I mean,
Nice.
it's hard to put it to words because of how like just beyond it is to work with your favorite human on something like that. And I'll just say, like, I would not have gotten through that with another actor. I mean, Johnny was just so funny and kind and giving and such an absolute gentleman, you know? I've worked on a lot of sets, and sometimes scenes that involve intimacy and stuff can get weird, and there was just nothing weird. It was just absolutely just a total gentleman and an absolute gift. Just a total gentleman and an absolute gift. You know, how they say you should never, you know, be careful to meet your heroes or whatever, because you might be horribly disappointed. The absolute opposite. Like, it got better and better and better. He improvised new lines that like made my characters seem better, and like the dream just got better and better and better. I was like, somebody pinch me, what's happening here? At one point I was like, is this the Make-A-Wish Foundation? Do I not know that I'm dying? And this is like what is this? It was just so beautiful. I can't say enough how funny and just awkward and just wonderful it was. Yeah. So watch the film, Richard Says Goodbye. Opening in South Africa this week. Really.
Richard Says Goodbye. Is it really? No, that's funny.
So I'm assuming that's your you like your movie crush, right? That's the one that we had a guest on not that long ago, Erica Deutschman, and she was talking to us. She actually wouldn't even name drop who her crush was Hollywood wise, but she did admit that, you know, she had one and had met them and kind of you know, fangirled out when she did. My question is this yours then? I'm assuming it kind of sounds like that.
I think it's obvious. True love forever. Yeah, I mean, what a trip. Imagine working with your biggest, you know, the artist that you've loved the most for many years, like many years, like imagine. And they're so hot and beautiful. Like, come on, what?
Yeah.
That's awesome that you were able to do that, for sure.
Yeah, it's not a secret. It's no secret whatsoever that I've always had a crush on him, and it was wonderful to work with him. There are no secrets here. This is going to be so embarrassing when this comes out.
So is there anybody else in Hollywood is there anybody else that you want to work with that you haven't, or that you look forward to that's on your list of awesome people? Like, maybe not at the Johnny level, but someone like that?
There are
Who would be your next? Okay, so there's Johnny. Who's your next one?
You know, I really have a huge amount of respect and, yeah, desire to play with on screen, and that's Juliette Lewis. I just love her. She's such a badass.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she is awesome. She's been in so many things for so long. She definitely has the Hollywood street cred for sure.
Okay, now you guys have to tell me who's your crush.
You have quite a resume when it comes to...
Oh.
All right.
Mark, you can go first.
That's a good question. If it's a female, I would say Salma Hayek.
Oh.
I'd go crazy for that.
Nice.
That's a good one.
Amazing.
That's a good one.
How about you, Scott?
I am a huge fan of Johnny Depp, though. I can't get enough of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, he's a big Johnny Depp fan.
I love it.
Not to bring him back up and ruin our talk.
Oh no, I could talk about him for days.
Who's that one? I can't think of what her name is, which is a bad start.
Yeah, that's the one, Scott.
Yeah, that's the one.
Can't think of her name.
I'll copy yours for now, but I'll come back to it. Let me search it real quick. I like when I don't remember her name. Of course, that's normally how my first dates go.
He's got to look. He's got to Google her.
Gotta look her up.
Well, while we give Scott a minute to actually do his research,
Story of my life.
right? I going through like the catalog of things that you've done, which is amazing, with some of the work. One question I had was, where did it start? Like, what was the driving factor that got you into acting? And then you've obviously wrote some of this stuff. So, like, where did it begin?
Would it surprise you if I said Johnny Depp? I have loved being on stage. I've loved the theater since I was a kid. I don't know why. It's just what I always did. As early as I can remember, was just putting on plays and putting on costumes, and somehow I turned that into a career, which is a miracle. And yeah, where did it all start? Just really from a tiny, being a little girl. Did it at elementary school, before elementary school, and then when I realized it could actually be, a career, I went to school and did all the things, and just still here plugging away after all this time. Perseverance is the...
That is awesome.
Is my
So
picture
I found out, not to jump back into this, but I found out her name. It's... Yeah, you're there.
Yeah.
It's Alexandria Daddario.
Wait, who?
Oh, uh-huh.
She was the one in... she was in the San Andreas, which is a horrible movie. But she's been in other stuff too.
That's your go-to?
That's my go-to. She's in the White Lotus now, which is
Well-
apparently an HBO show, I think. Which I haven't
Oh
seen.
yeah, I just started watching that.
It's
That's funny.
coming out, right?
Yeah.
Well, I hope you both get to do sex scenes in a feature film with your celebrity crushes. I wish it upon everyone.
Hopefully.
I really do.
Fingers crossed.
Yes.
Right?
Dare to
I'd have to
dream,
run that
babies.
one by the wife real quick.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does everyone get one hall pass?
I mean,
Oh, that's true. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'll see. Yeah,
that's how I'm gonna pitch it.
Yeah. We know it's not going to happen, but you can put it out in the universe. You never know.
Never say never. That's
I'm
what
gonna
I
start
thought,
planting
much
the
to my
seed
surprise.
now, so just in
Just
case
in
it
case.
happens.
Yeah, for real. In your case, yeah. I mean, you probably would have never thought. Well, I mean, you had a better shot than we do for sure because you in the industry. But yeah, that's true.
Oh, like I declared it that like my friends knew that was one of my life goals. They knew that, but still, much to my surprise, because I never. Part of you thinks that will never happen, maybe, I suppose, but yeah, what? And I've
That's
written
awesome.
a stand-up. I'm working on a stand-up bit about it, about the experience, because it's just so funny and awkward.
Oh.
Enjoy the awkwardness of it all with me. How truly, truly awkward it is.
You brought up stand-up. We have quite a few comedians on. We first started with like a lot of local comedians in the Phoenix area here, and recently we had Stephen Briggs on, an LA comic who tours nationally on a regular basis. He had a lot of trouble with basically just COVID, and he had to be creative and do different things locally just to keep entertainment going and trying to figure out shows in one way or another, especially being in LA where everything locked down pretty bad. What did you do to practice your material, keep on your game?
So I hadn't done stand-up for about 3 years. I got busy doing some film work and stuff. So prior to that, I'd done a lot of it. And then just last summer, a year ago summer, I finally got back on stage trying out some new material. And then everything got shut down. So what I found, and I'm so grateful, and what I discovered, are you guys on Clubhouse? I discovered Clubhouse.
Yes.
But on Clubhouse, if you guys aren't on it, I've met some of the best comedians and this crew of people, and it's called the Comedy Lounge on Clubhouse. And they host rooms and open mic stages kind of thing to work out your material. And they have like legendary comics come in and chat, and It's just everything I love about comedians and that world, but from the comfort of my apartment. So that's pretty nice. So just starting to work material out there, and that's how I got the show in Vancouver, actually, was through a new clubhouse friend. The show's called Chill Pill Comedy. Tally Perry is the producer, and I met her on Clubhouse, and now she's in Vancouver and producing shows. So there you have it.
Oh, nice.
That's how I got by.
Wow, that's very cool.
Yeah, I know. I was utilizing Clubhouse for our podcast quite a bit during some of that time. Got to hang out with Dane Cook quite a bit with the rooms that he hosted and things like that. And actually, you know, with how Dane Cook does some of his stuff on Clubhouse, like you actually get to go up and have a conversation with him in some cases. So Clubhouse, it's definitely geared towards like the podcast world, comedy, things like that. So do you have, you know, after the movie premieres and things like that, and it seems like you have a few other projects that are coming into play here pretty soon too. You trying to get comedy going again and start to travel and things like that?
Oh, I don't know about traveling. I'm going to travel downtown Vancouver. That'll be far enough. Stand-up for me is just like a little bit of a lifeblood, like another exploration of another art form that allows me to be a writer and allows me to be on stage and allows me to kind of work things out. I don't think that I aspire to being a touring road comic in any way. I want to make some funny videos. I've got a couple ideas for some short films based on my comedy stories, so it's really more about the stage. And it just like, I've always done theater, and so somebody double dared me once. One of my theater directors double dared me to try stand-up because she thought that my writing was funny, and it had never occurred to me to try it for some reason, even though I'd always gone to comedy clubs and had lots of friends that were comics. Just never occurred to me to try it, even though I do all the other creative, you know, acting outlets or whatever. So I tried it and I just got hooked right away. Have you guys tried it? It's crazy. It's so much fun. No. And just like a 5-minute set in front of like 20 people, it just fills me with so much joy, even if it kind of sucks. Like I can't explain it.
We've done a live show before, but nothing individually stand-up wise.
Yeah.
That's probably the most that we've done. Unless you have, I haven't.
No, I drunkenly have, you know, grabbed a mic from a local open mic, but it bombed horribly. It wasn't great. I don't remember most of it.
It could have been awesome. You were drunk. You should try again.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, let's ask Josh.
Oh, was he there? Yeah, he's gonna say it was bad.
Yeah, one of our old guests. He'll tell you about it.
He'll probably say it's bad.
I can't with joke writing. Like I can't.
I think everyone should try it at least once. It's a thrill.
Yeah. I think my biggest hurdle is joke writing. I think I want to be a storyteller when it comes to writing jokes, but I can't formulate how it should be, or, you know, what type of formula to even use. I've read and listened to, well, I don't read, but I listen to books, you know, on writing jokes and things like that, and I don't know, it doesn't like click in my head for some reason.
Yeah, what I learned spending hours and months and years at comedy clubs, you know, the open mics and the big venues, everyone's personal expression is different, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. Yourself, and I mean, obviously, hopefully it's funny, but I've seen people just like do interpretive dance and very few words. I've seen people, the quietest, most shy people, get up and their personalities are not big, and they just tell these sweet, funny, strange stories, and they end up being hilarious, you know? So I really think it is something for everyone if you are a storyteller in that way. You can find your own way.
Yeah.
Do you have any pointers for Mark who has trouble in the writing world, that maybe he can help him write
Thanks,
down some
Scott.
things and get him back on the mic, back on the horse, I'd say, for you, Mark?
Back on the horse. I mean, what's funny? You got to make it personal. You got to talk about your life. tell stories about my actual life. Do I exaggerate? Not really. Some people, I mean, do you like playing characters too? That can be fun, putting on different personalities and impressions.
There you go, Mark.
I wouldn't recommend that I give any advice, but I got some good advice from Tom Green on Clubhouse, who said to read Steve Martin's book, Born Standing Up. So I ordered it from Amazon and I'm reading it. So that's my recommendation. Let's read Steve Martin.
So Mark's out of luck because he doesn't read. So maybe you can get that on tape to listen to, Mark.
Yeah, I'll use my talk boy.
Yep.
Maybe we'll narrate it.
There you go.
There we go. Someone needs to read to Mark.
We'll do a books on tape.
So
how are you guys keeping sane and healthy and all this?
The COVID world.
Yeah, right. Well, that's the thing. I'm in Arizona, and we believed it was real for maybe a month, and then from there on, it just it doesn't exist. So everybody's been in like a normal lifespan of doing the day-to-day. Since COVID really kind of came and gone and came again and it keeps coming. It's weird with what's going on with COVID, but we've talked. We talk and bring it up with. Us, our guests and figuring out what's going on in different areas of the world. And like I was saying earlier, LA was crazy, and LA is not too far from where I'm at, and it's like night and day. It really. We had a live show during COVID. We had people come to the show that we did, and it was just nothing. It wasn't real here for some reason.
I mean, it's obviously real, but yeah, as far as the people, I guess, taking the serious, everyone's still doing normal stuff. You know what I mean? They're still kind of doing their thing, and it's been same thing with Tennessee since I've been here. Same kind of thing. Some areas are more of a mask kind of filled area, and other parts are just no mask and all good. And so it just depends on where you go, and. But as far as when it first hit, I mean, I think
it depends on your geography, doesn't it? I feel lucky.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
When it first hit.
Oh, me. What did I say that? Oh, when it first hit. So the it basically we would everyone started binging things, and everyone's scared, because no one really knew how crazy it was going to be, and. You're working from home or whatever, but yeah, it's that was about a month or two, I'd say, and then everything kind of went back to somewhat normal, but not normal, whatever that normal was, and it kind of still is, I think, at this point, really, here, and I think in Arizona too.
Good. I'm glad it's not horrible there where you are. It's horrible in a lot of places. Gosh. But this is a comedy podcast. We're not going to talk about suicide.
No, we're not. Jumping out of buildings.
Well, actually, you bring up suicide. I recently just visited Scott in Tennessee, and he decided to take me to downtown Nashville.
Oh.
And I don't know if you've ever been, but I realized that I'm an adult now, and I don't like that lifestyle anymore. And it was crazy. Downtown Nashville, bars everywhere, 3 floors of bars. I couldn't, it was beyond. Have you ever been to Nashville?
Just once for one night, so I don't know the whole experience.
You have?
Oh, just.
You don't remember it.
I don't remember it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish I could forget mine.
Yeah. When we first flew in, the first time I flew in February to see the house that we were building, I heard someone walking in the airport and they're on the phone, we got here, I landed, I'm in Nash Vegas, is what they call it, which I've never heard that at all. And then also found out too that it's the bridesmaids capital or like the number one destination for people to have like girl weddings, or you know what I mean, bridesmaid parties.
Really?
Yeah, and going down there, you can
what do you
definitely
call them? Those bridesmaids parties. Really, Nashville.
Yeah. Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, I think that's what did it. I was just like,
Too many girls.
Just
I have
chicks
no
and
desire to
tiaras
do
with
this
like
ever
dildos strapped to their head and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I had my son with me, and it was just crazy.
No, he didn't.
It's a tiara, son. It's a tiara.
Tiaras vibrate sometimes.
Look, there are unicorns
Yeah,
here.
I've become so low key too. They're real. Yeah, I've become much more low key in all of this as well, and just keeping to myself and whatever. It's become a strange life. Luckily, thank God for Clubhouse, I'll just say, keeping me company in the dark times. But no, I don't desire to go out to anything, bars and that party scene. I miss film festivals a lot, but.
Which hopefully those come back pretty hard, bigger, better than, what they were. How did you stumble across Clubhouse? Like, just discovering where you referred to a friend, or?
Yeah, a friend was in town visiting from LA, and she's a filmmaker friend, actor friend of mine. We've been friends for years. I guess she had discovered it just a couple of months prior to me, or the month before, and she was like evangelical about how much she liked it and how important she thought it was. And I was like, wow, this is like, you're really serious about this thing. So I was skeptical, like I am with all the things. I'm like, well, do they want my data? What about the privacy? What's going on? And then I got on it, and a week later, I was evangelical about this because I really saw the value for filmmakers, for comics, for musicians. In a similar way, like you connect when you fly to a film festival or a big comedy festival or a big music festival, and you get to network in the lounge and you get to meet all these cool people from around the world. You get to do this now just on your phone, for goodness sakes, And so it really filled that void, and I think it probably maybe saved some lives from like sadness and depression and loneliness and isolation. Like no joke. Yeah, how did you guys find it?
That's a good question. I don't remember.
Dark alley.
All of a sudden I just had it on my phone one day, and I was all like, I'm gonna go in here, and I think another podcaster had actually referred. They're like, hey, come check it out, because everybody was toting about it. It's becoming like it's gonna be the next Instagram, or whatever they were saying when it was kind of launching. But yeah, it's a great platform to just, audio wise. A lot of people are talking about how they've been successful with things, and basically like trying to teach other people, using it as a learning platform, which is kind of cool. And then comedy's like crazy there. I also like randomly, when you first join, like there's like random rooms all over the place, and people are like trying to network and set up dates on there and things like that. I'm like, what are you like? How does that work? First off, like, you're sitting there, you're on this audio device, you get to see a picture of one person, and then they're bored of what they're trying to shill, whether that be themselves or some, a company like mine has like all the podcast stuff going on, and then you're trying to hook up with someone like in this little voice chat room. So you're gonna fall in love with my voice, and then what are we gonna do? Like, it's so
true
weird.
Love.
Like
true love, Mark. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, true love. Yeah, the dynamic of it is just.
I will say though, I have fallen in love with some voices. I agree, but I have fallen in love with a couple of people's voices, I have to say. And so when I follow them when they're in a room, I'm not going to say who they are, but I'm like, oh, they're talking, and I go listen, and I just be a fly on the wall. And I've definitely have had a couple of Clubhouse crushes. Shall not be named, shall never be named. But it's because of the voice and because of what they're talking about. You get to really hear somebody, and and what they really mean and what they really sound like, you know? Much different than just Instagram photos. How boring is that in comparison? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. Dating, I mean, I don't know. I just developed my own my own little crushes. I don't think I'd try to date through the app, but I wouldn't not, you know, if it seemed legit.
Just stumbling across it, it's like it's a dynamic. Maybe it's just me and getting older, and obviously I'm married, so it's not something that I needed, you know, be gathering in and stumbling across it. Though it's just like, oh wow, this is weird. Like, I can't believe this is what the kids are doing these days. To even so
the kids are
like
doing
that,
these days.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I thought there was just an app. You slide everything.
And the next thing you say now is get off my yard. Or get off my lawn.
No, I've already said that. I mean, I don't want to talk to my neighbors. Get out.
But I don't think the kids are doing it. I don't know what the median age is, but I think it must be 37.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know that there are young people, but no, really, there's people much older than me most of the time in there. So it's what the old kids are doing.
Yeah.
And also married.
Probably.
And also married, totally. Yeah.
I kind of want to do a little bit of dive into the past a little bit. I seen this short that you did a while back, and I'm curious as to, because it does give you a writer's credit, so you probably wrote some of it, I'm assuming. Earthlickers. Can you tell us a little bit about that and like just... It seems something that I don't know. Like I said, I seen it not that long ago. It kind of jives with the stuff that I like, which is sci-fi, comedy, a little bit of everything. It's
and I like your character you played, the name that is. I just clicked on that.
Thank you.
Scott just discovered gold.
Thank you.
What? I'm old?
Have a saying. We have a saying at the Earthlickers headquarters: "Lick long and prosper." This was born of my writing partner Allison, Aretha, and I. We just got together and wanted to create something for this short film competition, which we ended up, much to our surprise, getting in the top 6 and being one of the winning teams of this thing. But yeah, we were inspired by Barbarella and Rocky Horror and some kind of a fusion of this. But really, what it's about is bringing back the power of the goddess love energy onto Earth, which we thought was so missing and needed at the time. And so that's what we did. We've since been developing a feature screenplay, which is much more, it's like a psychedelic stoner comedy musical. There are original songs written for this feature. I developed it through various film festival labs. Just last year, right before COVID, I was in a producer's lab where I was, whatever. When you go to those film festival labs and you get help from your filmmaking societies in Canada to like help you develop the film. And so this has been in development for a while, and it's your favorite movie that you haven't seen yet. And I can't wait to make the feature film version of it, because the short was full of so much joy. We got together some of our favorite, actresses here in Vancouver to do it, and it was, I don't know if you've been on a lot of film sets, but we had the most fun, and whenever we do scripted readings of this project, it just lights people up because it's so outrageous and ridiculous and funny and it is out of this world. And so we are working on bringing the feature film to your screens, and we can't wait.
Oh, awesome.
If you lick it, they will come, as they say.
I think I've heard that somewhere.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Duh.
Yeah. Come on, Mark. That was in the movie, too.
Yeah. Earthlickers.
Well, what we do when we start to wrap things up on the show is
we want you to join us.
What we do on the show when we start to wrap things down is we have 3 questions that we typically ask everybody. So I just want to go over those, and then from there we'll start actually just winding down. We were just talking about Earthlickers, which technically could kind of be like a conspiracy in itself, if you know, people wanted to play on that. Do you have a favorite conspiracy of any kind?
Oh, I have a lot of not favorite conspiracies. Do I have a favorite conspiracy? Yeah, I do. The lick shall set you free.
Oh, okay.
We might have to go into that just a little bit. No.
Oh, we'll get in.
All right, and the second question.
I don't love the flat Earth conspiracy.
Oh, there we go. No,
that's your least favorite one.
What?
Like, I don't love it. I don't love it.
Well, because it doesn't work with the movie either.
It's just
at least
so
based
the
on
weirdest one. Now I'm like, well, how do we know? Yeah, no. If
all the billionaires
Earth
are going to
needs be
space,
round
but
so
they're
that
trying
we
to
can
tell us.
Continue to lick it, you guys. Come on, second question. What is it?
That's what I was when I look at the photos of the
Fucking
Earth being
billionaires.
licked.
Stop it already.
Oh no, me or what?
It's obviously
yeah,
round, right?
Yeah,
It's obviously
I agree.
round.
It's
the
round.
tongues go around and around it.
Yep. Exactly. Agreed.
What is a piece of information that you have learned on your journey that feels illegal to know?
I can't say that.
Oh, so it's a good one that you know.
Maybe in my stand-up bit I can allude to it, but I cannot say it. There's a number of things that feels illegal to know, but I'm deeply gratified that I know them.
You know, we had a comedian on not that long ago, Alex Valuto. He started talking about, he didn't drop any names or anything like that.
Oh, wait, I know. I thought of one, just to answer your question in a vague way.
Yes.
Don't believe everything you read on the internet.
Oh, yep.
Believe almost nothing, especially about human beings.
Oh, that kind of goes back into number one question. Conspiracy about Earth people.
What was the first question? My favorite conspiracy?
Oh, conspiracies that you believe in or don't believe in. Enjoy.
And then our last question is, what life hack is something you do that people do the hard way or different than you? What is a life hack that you do?
Like you. Maybe
I mean, you want this to be funny, but now it's gotten me
no,
serious.
it could be serious. That's fine.
It can be serious.
We can make fun of the serious too.
Life hack? Honestly, life hack, like, don't take it seriously and don't take it personally. But do laugh at it.
Right.
I mean, that's something to live by within
as often as possible.
The comedy scene, the movie scene, like that you kind of have to live by that, right? Like it's everything's so vain for the most part. You know, it's really hard to find people that are actually genuine and true in the entertainment space.
Very true.
Can you tell us where we can find you on social media, and then we'll end it out?
You betcha. I'm on, obviously, Clubhouse. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. Not Facebook. Good, no. And there I am. Just my name. No fake names there.
Any other upcoming products or projects you got coming up? Too, like anything coming out besides?
Yeah, I've got a couple.
The Rumbo.
Besides Rumbo? No, I've got some things in the pipeline that are in development, which I'm excited about. A couple of feature films that are in development, but I can't go into details at this time.
Nice.
I'm just excited about my live comedy show at the end of the month with chillpillcomedy.com. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Very cool.
Thanks, guys.
Thank Justine for coming on.
Thanks for letting me embarrass myself immensely on your show.
All right, Amigos out.
This has been the Amigos PC. Make sure to like, subscribe, and review us on all your podcasting platforms. And visit us at AmigosPC.net. Get our entire library of content and Amigos merch. Till next time, adios.